Hi, I'm Sam Cintron, and this is my wife, Judy. And we've been at the church for about 7.5 years since it started. Initially, it was a small group of us that met with the Gindens, and we prayed about what God wanted us to do and what He wanted us to be here in this area. Um, we grew to the point where we started meeting in their backyards in the middle of summer in August, very hot, setting up and taking down chairs every week. The entire family who were there were kids in the background. You could hear them as we had our services in the back. And even initially, as we met, we got to the point where we were needing a larger space to meet on Sundays. And so the Tomball Community Center opened up. Even though it was at 2 o'clock in the afternoons, we took it and we met there and started to pack up our gear each week through it in a trailer, back and forth, setting up, everybody pitching in where they could to help out, doing whatever was needed. We got to the point where men started to meet together on Saturdays. We had breakfast together with Brandon leading us and guiding us through some studies together. And it was a good time of fellowship together as men. And then out of that again, this church started to grow and we started to meet. And God opened up the door for this building that we're in now. Initially, we built the first building, which is now building 2, or not built it, but started to remodel it. So it was everybody roll up their sleeves, get the hammers out and tear down and rebuild. And we met in there as this building was being remodeled and built as well. Got us to the point where we are today.
You know, this Sunday we're talking about stones of remembrance, commemorating things, and I was thinking, you know, each stone represents a story, and for me that story and all those stones kind of makes a bridge to the community, and that's one thing that we do in restoration. And some of the really cool stories is there was a couple who were not married and they came to the Tomball Pregnancy Center classes that we offer on Thursday nights. And those of us who were in Regen were friendly to them and waved at them, introduced ourselves, and just loved on them as they were coming in and out of class. When they finished with the Pregnancy Center classes, they ended up joining us at Regen. We ended up marrying them. Robert married them on a Thursday evening. They joined a small group, they were baptized, and they come here regularly, and their family has even grown. Another really cool Regen story is there was a father who really struggled with pride and anger, and he came to Regen and took it seriously and did the 12-step, and his wife and his children see a remarkable change in him. He is a man of God and one that they admire and look up to now. There's a sweet girl that I get to disciple, and it's been a long road. There's been lots of ups and downs, but right now there's 2 years of sobriety, and I just celebrate that. That is something that is really cool, and she is just doing well in this community who loves her and cares for her. There's a couple who had divorce papers. They signed them, they were ready for it, and the attorney wisely suggested that they give it one more shot and go to a class, any kind of class on marriage, and they came to re-engage. And there was families that loved them and cared for them and challenged them, and they ended up ripping up their divorce papers. Now, are things perfect? No. Those leaders that were in the original semester with them still follow up with them, love them, care for them, working on budget, working on some of the points of contention with them, and still just discipling and loving them. And I could just go on and on with all the stories of remembrance of how from the very beginning to even now that we have stayed the same in that we are relational, we care for people, we love people, we want to give them hope and healing. And I'm just super thrilled that Sam and I got to be on that journey from the very beginning, in the living room with Brandon, and when he was preaching in August in the middle of summer, and he preached barefoot because it was so stinking hot. There's so many good stories, but the thing is those of you who are here and you're not been around very long, like those are your stories too, because you're now in the real life family, so it's part of your heritage. And super excited about all the future stories that we're gonna get to experience.